Good day everyone. Today let's discuss about category of functions in C. Depending upon whether parameters are included and whether a value is returned, the function can belong to one of the following categories. Category 1, functions with no arguments and no return values. Category 2, function with arguments and no return values. Category 3, function with argument and one return value. Category 4, functions with no argument but return a value. And category 5, functions that return multiple values. Let us discuss about each and every category. Category 1. This is the example for the first category, function with no argument and no return values. In the function declaration, we have given a function named add. It has no return value since it is mentioned as void, and it has no arguments. In main, we have just called the function add, and in the function definition of add, we have declared three variables a, b and c. We have received two variables input a and b. The values are added and stored in c, and the value of c is printed. This is the example of category 1, and the output will be printed as category 1, function with no argument and no return value, and we receive the values of a and b. We have given 3 and 5. The result will be the addition of two numbers is 8. Next, this is the example of category 2, function with the argument and no return values. Let us see the function declaration of add. Here we have given void as the return type, so it does not return any values, but we have given two parameters int comma int, so it accepts two arguments. And in the main, we have received two variables input for a and b, and we have passed it to the function add a comma b. In the function definition, we have declared a variable c, and the values are passed to x and y. The values of x and y are added, and the value is assigned to c, and the value of c is printed. And this is the output of the program. Category 2, function with arguments and no return values. Enter the value of a and b. We have given the values 3 and 5 for a and b, and these values are passed to x and y, and the addition of two numbers is 8. It is the result being printed. Next, we have category 3, function with argument and one return value. In the function declaration, we have given the return type as int, and there are two arguments of integer data type. In main, we have declared three variables a, b and c, and we have received two inputs for a and b, and those inputs are passed as the argument to the function, and the value returned by the function is stored in c, and the value is printed. In function definition, we have received two inputs x and y, and int z is the variable declared inside the function. Z is equal to x plus y. The values are added and it is stored in z, and the value z is returned, and the value in z is stored in c, and the value is printed. And this is the output. Category 3, functions with the arguments and no return and one return value. The value of a and b are passed to x and y. So the x and y is added and the value is stored in z, and the output 8 is printed is stored in z, and it is returned to c, and the value is printed. The next category is category 4, function with no argument but a return value. Here the function has only a return type. Here it is int and it does not have any arguments being passed. In main, we have just called the function and the value returned by the function is stored in C. In the function definition, we have three variables being declared, A, B and C. Input of two variables A and B is received and it is calculated and is stored in Z, and the value of Z is returned to back to the main function and stored in C, and the value is printed. And this is the result of the program. Category 4, function with no argument but a return value. Enter the value of A and B. So 3 and 5 are given as input and the value 8 is being printed. And the final category is function that returns multiple values. Here we use the pointers to return multiple values. Here void div is the function and we have passed 4 arguments, int a, comma, int b, comma, int quotient, int star quotient, comma, int star remainder. So quotient and remainder are pointer variables. Here star quotient is equal to a divided by b and star remainder is equal to a modulo division b. So the quotient is stored in the value quotient and the remainder is stored in the remainder. So in main, the value 76 is assigned to variable A and 10 is assigned to variable B, and int q, comma r are integer variables. Their addresses are passed as input and the arguments for quotient and remainder. And the value is calculated 76 divided by 10, the quotient becomes 7 and the remainder is 6. The values are returned for Q and R. It is stored in the address Q and R and those values are being printed. This is how we can return multiple values in functions, and this is the result being printed. In this final category, we can return multiple values using matrix arrays or structures and also pointers. Thank you.